This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. Chuck Schumer making a last-ditch effort to try to pass the stimulus reconciliation with Manchin. I'll let you know what they're both saying about that and the progress. Also, the big question is, will we get another stimulus check? With many saying recession is inevitable and some are saying we're already in a recession. What's going on with stimulus checks? I'll let you know about the $700 stimulus check, the $3,200 stimulus check, and how certain Americans are getting child tax credits, which are available right now. Also, Pete Buttigieg asks straight up if he's going to replace President Biden as president. I'll let you know what he says in a video clip, and I'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a more than mundane Monday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So payrolls increased 372,000 in June, more than expected as job market defies recession fears. So basically, this was a big win for the economy. Non-payrolls in June increased 372,000, topping the 250,000 estimate, which is a lot better, and the unemployment rate remained at 3.6%. So in terms of labor, looking pretty good, but it's still a big cliff that we are heading towards at the moment. Stocks could drop another 20% from here if a recession ensues, according to Wall Street gurus, which doesn't make it look so good. So there's a lot of parts to the economy. It's not just about jobs, not just about the stock market, but when it comes to the Fed and how the Treasury Secretary is handling it, Governor Sununu says if he were in the White House, he'd fire Yellen to help the economy. So Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, basically saying she's not doing a good job and led the country in a different area, and what could be done about it from here on forward. Take a look at what Governor Sununu has to say about that.
Fears about a recession eased a bit this week after another strong jobs report, but with the Fed likely to raise interest rates again later this month and high inflation continuing to push up the cost of everything you buy, Americans remain deeply uneasy about the economy just months before the midterm elections. Joining us now, New Hampshire Republican Governor Chris Sununu. Governor Sununu, thanks so much for joining us. So the U.S. economy has now recovered all of the private sector jobs lost during the pandemic. Gas prices, after shooting up, have been dropping steadily for more than 3 weeks. Do you see this as signs that the economic outlook is going to improve, beginning to improve, or are you worried about a recession coming?
Recession is coming. You cannot add $5 trillion onto America's balance sheet and just hope it goes away. The recession is coming. The Fed, I think, has known this for a while. They've kind of ignored it. They should have been easing us into the right rates and where we need to go over a year ago. You had a Treasury Secretary who was saying, oh, well, it's not inevitable. Well, of course it's inevitable. You don't need 4 years at Dartmouth economics to know that when you add that $5 trillion, there has to be some outcome. And unfortunately, the outcome is high gas prices, high housing prices. The price of a taco is getting unbearable for some folks. And it hits lower and middle income families very, very hard. And that's just going to be the issue going forward.
What do you think the Biden administration needs to do about it, if anything?
Well, there's a couple of things. Look, first, I would fire the Treasury Secretary. I think she's completely misled America because she didn't want to kind of own the bad news. But that's part of public service. You got to own the good with the bad. You got to ease folks into it and present a glide path. But the more this administration keeps telling people that a recession isn't inevitable, of course it is. Look, gas prices might come down a little bit, and that's wonderful. Home heating oil prices are still going to be at record rates this winter. And just having people in their homes, elderly couple, folks on fixed incomes, low-income families, just to heat their homes this winter, that fuel crisis has yet to rear its ugly head. But believe you me, it is coming. And that reality is going to come to bear at the toughest times, right? We have high energy prices now, cost twice as much to fill your gas tank. It costs about twice as much to create baseload generation. And all of that really comes to bear, and it's not going away anytime soon.
What are your thoughts? Do you agree with Governor Sununu? Let me know your thoughts on that when it comes to also helping out the country, or at least maybe saving face for the Democrats. Chuck Schumer making last-ditch bid to pass reconciliation bill this summer. So we've been hearing for the past few weeks, if not months, maybe even years, that there is a lot of progress being made and is going to pass any minute. So what Joe Manchin's people said right here, or representatives said, Senator Manchin has long advocated for proposals that would lower prescription drug costs for seniors and his support for his for this proposal has never been in question. He's glad that all 50 Democrats agree, also saying here suggestions that a reconciliation deal is close are false. Senator Manchin still has serious unresolved concerns. There is a lot of work to be done before it's conceivable that a deal can be reached he can sign onto. So just to repeat the one part here, suggestions that a reconciliation deal is close are false. Joe Manchin basically saying, yeah, he agrees with some things, but in terms of an overall deal, doesn't look like it is going to happen. That means a budget reconciliation package isn't likely to reach the Senate floor before the fourth week of the upcoming month-long work period. Schumer may even keep his colleagues in town for the first week of the August recess, which is supposed to begin August 6th. So if the recess starts August 6th and is not done before that, probably not going to happen. Although at this point, I don't think it's going to happen anyway. Joe Manchin just playing hardball the entire time, probably doesn't even want to have a deal, but just stringing along Chuck Schumer, the Democrats. So, but the big question is, regardless of that stimulus reconciliation package, will we ever receive stimulus checks again? That is the big question. Are we going to get another stimulus check? On a federal level, the closest thing to it is probably the federal gas stimulus checks, also known as the Gas Rebate Act of 2022, which basically gives taxpayers $100 per month if the gas price is $100 or if the gas price remains $4 or more per gallon. At this point, we haven't seen any representatives take a vote on this or Congress doing anything about this bill. So that is the closest to a federal forced stimulus check, despite a lot of calls for stimulus checks, despite a lot of politicians saying that there should be stimulus checks, such as Bernie Sanders in the past. But what we're seeing is a lot of state stimulus checks, and the one leading the crowd is this one. Direct payments of $700 for millions of Americans to be sent to bank accounts. Could you also qualify for a bonus $350? So this is in California, giving out $350 checks for individuals, $700 for couples, and if you have a family or if you have a dependent, that's $1,050. So a lot of money going out in California, but what about the other states? So I'll go over another state that's giving out $3,200. But first, these states are adding child tax credit. Stimulus is yours one. So I'll go through this list really quick. As far as a federal child tax credit, there is one, but it's not boosted. So it's the same as it was before, where it's $2,000 compared to the boosted one was $3,000 and $3,600. So I'll just go through these state child tax credits here. So child tax credit in California, $1,000 to each qualifying family with earnings under $25,000, $1,000 to each qualifying family with earnings between $25,000 and $30,000. Then there is Colorado giving 5 to 30% of the federal credit to each qualifying child. Idaho giving $205 per child. Maine giving $300 per child and dependent. Maryland giving $500 per child for a family that makes less than $6,000. Massachusetts, $180 for one dependent, $360 for two or more dependents. New Jersey giving a $500 child tax credit for families with an income of $30,000 or less. New Mexico, $75 to $175 per qualifying child, depending on income. New York, the greater of 33% of the portion of the federal child tax credit and federal additional child tax credit attributable to qualifying children, or $100 multiplied by the number of qualifying children. Then North Carolina, $500 to $2,500 federal tax deduction. Oklahoma, 5% of the federal credit. And then Vermont, $1,000 child tax credit per kid. So yeah, those are the child tax credits going on there. And a big stimulus check here, direct payments, how to get a $3,200 check for inflation relief. Basically here, Alaska governor they just passed this. I think it said, yeah, on June 29th. So yeah, a little over a week ago. Basically, Alaska's permanent fund grants $2,550 that goes out to Alaskan citizens, and then an extra $650 there. So between the two, yeah, it comes out to $3,200, which is a lot of money if you live in Alaska, but also I could see why they would get more there too. When it comes to the jobs report and what's going on there, So jobs report fuels White House optimism that recession will be averted. So I mentioned the jobs report in the beginning, and the White House thinks everything is going to be okay. There's not going to be a recession, although that's what any White House would say in this moment. Most Democrats don't want Biden in 2024, new poll shows. So according to a poll, President Biden is not very popular for 2024, not very popular right now. I'm sure if there was an election, he would be in a lot of trouble. Even his own Democrats in Congress are not supporting him. But who could replace him? One of the people is Pete Buttigieg. At least those are the rumors going around. Pete Buttigieg asks straight up if he is going to replace President Biden. Take a look at this video clip and his response right here.
All right, let me ask you a campaign question, sir. Do you expect President Biden to run for re-election in 24? And if not, will you run?
Yes, I do expect him to run. I'll support him. And let me tell you why he's going to have a lot to be proud of. And I'm going to choose my words carefully because I'm appearing as an official and this is not a campaign-related appearance. But I'm proud to be part of this administration that has done such work to bring America back from the brink of a recession, to create record job growth, to build achievements that would not have been thought possible just a couple of years ago, like the bipartisan infrastructure law that I have the honor of working on. You know, people scoffed at the idea that you could get anything done on a bipartisan basis in Washington, and yet the president delivered it. And that's after years and years, multiple presidents and multiple Congresses coming and going, promising infrastructure bills without any results. This president, this administration got it done, and I'm proud to be part of that.
Mr. Secretary, thank you. Thanks for making time this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.
So Pete Buttigieg promoting President Biden, which probably is the political move to make in this moment right now. A lot of people just don't want to start dismissing Joe Biden with another 2 years left. They're probably wait a little bit for that moment. But anyways, what are your thoughts on Pete Buttigieg as a potential president? He's kind of young, but can he get the job done? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, so my name is Bella. This is the tip of the day. If you make a mistake, then it's okay. You learn from your mistake, it makes you a better person. So it's okay. It's okay. We still love you. We like you a lot. Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your time and support. Got another stiff neck today. Could barely move my neck. Yeah, really tough. I'm trying to get some heat pads on it and warm it up. But yeah, I could barely move, trying to get the kids ready for camp and stuff this morning. But anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your Monday. If you want to check out any of my other videos, my other channels, you could click up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.